Welcome back to Lucid English TV. It's always amazing to have you around. So in the last video we started a new series and I talked about grammatical names and functions. I discussed how challenging the topic usually appears to learners, especially those who are preparing for external examination. Then we saw how you could easily answer questions on noun clauses. Today we want to consider adjectival clauses. Call it adjectival clauses, call it a relative clause, or you want to choose to call it adjective clause, which are still referring to the same grammatical structure for this level. So we move at adjectival clauses. Now, one thing you should know about adjectival clauses is that they perform mainly as adjectives in sentences. And what is the basic function of an adjective? It is to modify or qualify or describe a noun in sentences. But for the sake of your exam, please use the word qualify for adjectives. Welcome to Lucid English TV. Learn how to write crisply, speak confidently, and pass excellently. It's always good to have you around. Now, very quickly, we want to talk about adjectival clauses. As already mentioned initially, I have said that they are also referred to as relative clauses, or you want to call them, and they function as adjectives in sentences. They are introduced by words which, whom, whose, where, when, why, how, and that, which are usually regarded as relativizers. They are always called relativizers. Now, let's see some examples here. The new building that is behind our school has collapsed. The new building that is behind our school has collapsed. Let's see that is behind our school. You can see that structure there telling us more about the building. That is what an adjective, that's what it does in sentence. Okay, so you have that structure there telling you more about the building. The new building, not the one beside, not the one in front of. The one behind our school has collapsed. Everyone needs friends who are reliable and loyal. Everyone needs friends who are reliable and loyal. Everyone needs friends who are reliable and loyal. Describing the kind of friend that everyone needs. People who live in glass houses do not throw stones. What kind of people don't throw stones? People who live in glass houses. Now, this is a little bit different from noun clauses. I will still explain how you can easily differentiate them. Although you might have noticed that and WH words too are used to introduce the structure, they are not the same thing with noun clauses. The pen which I was given was stolen yesterday. The pen which I was given was stolen yesterday. This is the place where the accident occurred. This is the place where the accident occurred. You can see that telling us more about the place. It is very easy to identify adjective clauses. Very easy to identify them. They tell you more about the noun. Now let's see. You should note that noun clauses are different from adjectival clauses. It is very important for you to note that. Although you might have noticed that and some WH words they are introducing them, they are not the same thing. Now, what are the differences? Let's see. Number one, let's see some examples here. That books are sold is not determined by authors. That books are sold is not determined by authors. Okay, the books that are sold here are expensive. That books are sold is not determined by the authors. You remember that in the last video I told you that you can actually replace a noun clause with a noun phrase, or a pronoun. I can say that is not determined by authors. I can say it is not determined by authors. Very easy. But if you come to this structure here, the books that are sold here are expensive. The books that are sold here are expensive. That are sold here, it's a relative clause, or you want to call it an adjective clause or an adjectival clause, as the case may be, and it's qualifying the noun, telling us more about the noun. Okay, it's qualifying the noun. But when you come here, the books are sold, Here you can see that there is no noun even before it. It's standing alone here. Okay, that books are sold. What is determined by authors that books are sold? But this one is telling us more about those books here. Very easy. So why in the first sentence we have a noun clause functioning as subject of the sentence, and this one here we have a relative clause qualifying the noun books. Or you want to say the noun phrase the books, as the case may be. We move. Let's see. Quickly, let's see some of the differences you should notice. One, noun clauses can be replaced by nouns or pronouns in sentences, while adjectival clauses cannot. Now let's go back here. We have replaced this with a pronoun. It is not determined by authors. We cannot replace this with a pronoun. The books eat expensive doesn't make sense. Okay, that's one way to know that this is an adjectival clause and not a noun clause or something else. Let's see. 2. The introducers, that word who, can be either used interchangeably or removed in some relative clauses. However, they are not optional in noun clauses. Let's see. For this place, I can say that books are sold is not determined by authors. Books are sold is not determined by authors. It doesn't make sense. But if I come here now, the books sold here, are expensive. You can see I've removed not just the relativizer, I have also removed what? The lexical verb here. I mean, the operator here, the auxiliary verb here has also gone with it, the be verb here. The books that are sold here, so I can just say the books sold here are expensive. Let's go back and see some other examples so we can understand better. Now, the new building behind our school, that means I can actually skip this. And you will recall that in a noun clause, you cannot skip the element that. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back again. Everyone needs friends. I said it in that point that you could actually replace the relativizer, the introducer. You could change it. You can say everyone needs friends that are reliable. I can say the new building which is behind. You can see that the introducers can be used interchangeably here. The people that leave, the pen that I was given, and I can also remove them. The people in glass houses do not throw stones. The pen I was given was stolen yesterday. This is the place the accident occurred. This is how you test for an adjectival clause. Before you pick your pen to write in that examination, or you have to be sure, is this an adjectival clause or a noun clause? One, an adjectival clause will tell you more about a noun. It will describe a noun to you. While a noun clause will stand in a sentence as a noun or as a pronoun. Let's see the third point. Noun clauses do not always have nouns or pronouns before them because they act as nominal items. That's naming words. Relative clauses, on the other hand, usually succeed the nouns they qualify. That's clear enough. Let's go back and see an example. Okay, let's use this. Now that books are sold, you can see that this structure, this is a noun clause. There is no noun before it. But for this, there is a noun before it. Usually at this level, I should tell you that when you have an adjective clause or a relative clause, whatever you want to call it, I must make you understand that. You see, there will be a noun before it. You should see that there will be a noun before it. Most times it comes immediately after the noun it qualifies. Other examples, you can notice that the new building that is behind our school building. The friends who are 11 friends, people, you can say people here. The pen, which I was given, pen. The place, you can see all of this structure, they have what? They have nouns before them. I hope you have learned something today. I would want you to evaluate yourself, write out 5 sentences with noun and adjective clauses and be able to distinguish them. It's always amazing to have you around. Thank you for coming around to Lucid English TV. I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you. Kindly subscribe. Please tell your friend today about Lucid English TV.